Coming up on this video, we're going to cover basic protocol with dowsing or divine gesture, whichever method that you're familiar with. By now you should be able to do divine gesture. But I want to talk a little bit first about the particular methods that we're going to be using, or the particular protocol that we're going to be using. And this is going to be a basic protocol. This is the first protocol that you learn as far as application goes, and it will start with one of 5 categories. Now there's a few different ways that this can be done. The first thing we're going to start with, though, is what you're going to see later, is we're going to start with removal of all resistances. So that's going to be the first place that you're going to want to start at. We remove all resistance from the client, and once all resistance has been removed, then we will move on to the 5 categories, which are spiritual, emotional, physical, energetic, and other. And with our dowsing, we can discern which one of these categories there is a state of disharmony in. Also, after we finish our 5 categories, we'll go over a basic soul enhancing technique that can be done with dowsing to raise the soul's energy to radiate better to the outside of the body. This is very important. This would be like if you did the techniques without doing the soul reviving method. It would be like the Marines coming in and shooting up a town full of hostile forces, and then the people who are still left behind, who are good, the Marines just keep on going, and nobody sends the Red Cross in to help out, rebuild and restructure the civilization. You know, nobody brings in any other help. All the bad guys are dead, but you know, because of all the chaotic fighting, there's a lot of damage that that's not going to be repaired. So we want to raise those spiritual energies. And so this whole thing, from all resistances through the categories and then to the soul rejuvenation method, are all part of the process. And so basically it's kind of like a 7-step process. Now, if you don't have time to do the 7-step process, you can break it down into a 2-step process, sometimes 3, depending on what you want to do. For example, you could do all resistances first, and then instead of checking each category, you could ask, are there disturbances in any of those categories? And of course you should get a yes, and then you say, please remove all, and let it spin until done, and that'll shorten the treatment time and is very effective. However, you could be as specific as you want to be. You can check for it outside the body or inside the body, or you can check the whole being at one time. In this video, we're going to show checking the whole being at one time, and so this is a short 20-minute treatment. You know, sometimes it'll go as long as 30 minutes, but for the most part, you should be able to pull this off in about 20 minutes. And the end result will just be fantastic. They'll feel much better. Not only, you know, remember that this can also be done long distance, and we'll cover that on some other videos. Right now I'm going to show you how to do it in-house, but very simple to do it long distance as well. But we'll have another video out that covers long distance therapy, because there's some other things you can do long distance as well. So 3-step process would be all resistances, all categories, and then raising the soul energy. So that'd be kind of like a fast food kind of way of doing it, but it does work. It's very effective. You know, I would suggest spending a little more time on it. You know, but you know, you could do that whole thing in like 5-10 minutes tops, and they may not feel better. They'll feel a little better initially, but then like a couple hours later, they'll really start to perk up and feel good. So it's kind of like when you go to the chiropractor, maybe he adjusts you, and he does a special method where you feel a little bit better when you leave, but then like the next day, you know, it's kind of all been working together, and you feel a lot better when you wake up. That kind of thing. So that's kind of the fast food treatment, you know, of dowsing. And you can do it in a 2-step process. You can include resistances and all categories as one thing. You know, are there resistances or anything in any category? You know, and you'll get a yes, And so then you let it spin until it's done, and then do the soul treatment at the end by itself. But you do have to separate. You can throw resistances and all the categories together, but the soul technique must be done separately. It's very important because it's a different kind of energy. It takes a different kind of focus. So, on this video, we're going to cover application of dowsing. You can use your rod, your pendulum, or by now you should know divine gesture, and you can use divine gesture. And that's going to be the method of delivery of my dowsing today, will be in divine gesture. I'm going to go through a basic protocol. It should take about 30 minutes to do the dowsing, and so this will show a whole routine of basic application for dowsing for healing. And so I'll start out with give me a yes response, and I get a yes response from the arm. Thank you. Give me a no response. I get a no response. Thank you. All right, so my energy has been set. I feel there's good energy, and I can now begin. The first thing I would like to check for is resistances. Now, resistances can not only be resistances of the patient to the therapy, and even though they come in to getting treatment or whatever, they may be resistant, and that is resistant to change or to treatment. They may want to come in and think that they're doing something about it, but as soon as they see that you're actually affecting them, then they may not want to come back. So what you have to do is check for all resistances first. Are there resistances on or about this client? Okay, I get a yes response. Please remove all resistances. And the hand starts to spin. As the hand spins, then energies will start to kick up on the client until all resistances have been removed. Now, the resistances may not be something that they are aware of. In fact, if I ask her if she is resisting, she will more than likely say no. That doesn't mean, however, that there are not spirits or spiritual forces upon her or inside of her that do not want me to continue. So therefore, this makes the process a lot easier. Right now I can feel her on the table getting very warm. And so there's a lot of resistance in the body itself. Not so much in the aura field or the Wei Qi field, but more so in the actual body itself. And now everything seems to start calming down, and the hand starts to calm down. And so I give it about 10 or 15 seconds before I ask my next question, because I want to make sure that everything is kind of cleared. And even though the energy has stopped being active, there's a delay time between the time it stops being active and the time that it's actually completely cleared out. So you give it at least 15 to 30 seconds, something to that effect. So now I check, because I can feel the energies have calmed down. I say, are there resistances in any way, shape, or form upon her being? Okay, I get a no response. That's great. All right, thank you. Always say thank you, very important. Whether you say it with the mouth or you say it in your mind. So, what the client will notice is that they become kind of in a relaxed state. You feel kind of relaxed now? Great, okay. So, now, in this video, we're going to cover the whole application of how to do spiritual, emotional, and physical. Also, we'll cover energetic and the other categories. So we're going to take it through a whole basic protocol of the dowsing techniques.